Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi receives warm welcome on his arrival to Kuwait. He will meet the Amir, the Crown Prince, during his two-day visit. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz visits accident site in German city of Magdeburg. Mishap claims at least 4 lives, several injured. World leaders express condolences. And US Congress passes spending bill to avert government shutdown. Bill is at White House for President Biden's final nod. Prime Minister Narendra Modi began his two-day visit to Kuwait on Saturday, marking a significant milestone in India-Kuwait relations. This will be the first visit of an Indian Prime Minister to Kuwait in 43 years. PM Modi's visit aims at strengthening the India-Kuwait friendship across various sectors and deepening India's historical linkages with Kuwait, as the two nations have shared interest in peace, security and stability in West Asia. During the visit, Prime Minister Modi will be holding meetings with the Emir of Kuwait, the Crown Prince and the Prime Minister of Kuwait. Upon his arrival at the hotel, Prime Minister received warm welcome from members of the Indian community, which is the largest expatriate community in Kuwait. The Indian diaspora has a population of over 1 million people, forming a living bridge between India and Kuwait. In Kuwait, in a humanitarian gesture, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Mangal Sen Handa, a 101-year-old IFS officer, after a request on social media X by his granddaughter. Prime Minister Narendra Modi responded to the social media request, showing how he connects with Indian citizens across the world. PM received a heartwarming welcome by the Indian diaspora in Kuwait. In another rare meet, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Abdullah Al-Baron and Abdul Latif Al-Nasef in Kuwait. Abdullah Al-Baron has translated both Ramayana and Mahabharat in Arabic, while Abdul Latif published the Arabic versions of Ramayana and Mahabharat. PM had also spoken about their efforts in one of his Man Ki Baat episodes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted and interacted with members of the Indian diaspora as he reached at a hotel in Kuwait City. The Indians in Kuwait warmly welcomed the Prime Minister with colourful performances by artists. Let's listen in to what they have to say about their meeting with the Prime Minister.
Today, because I never thought like I will get a chance to meet him. I am Dr. Fibisha, coming on behalf of Indian Doctors Forum, and this is a very special day for me, and thank you so much everyone who gave this opportunity.
It was such a blessed moment. I don't know how to express. We are really thrilled. Yeah, goosebumps came. I don't know how to express.
Yeah, my name is Renu. I am Kathak artist here, and I performed my art in front of PM sir. Really, when the moment when he entered, and then that spiritual aura he has, and the goosebumps came, we are overwhelmed actually.
Very nice, very nice. My name is Jay Krishnan. I was performing Kathakali. I'm basically an engineer working with Kuwait Airways in Kuwait, and it's once in a lifetime achievement for us, and there is nothing which best can happen to us. We were so happy to have performed for the PM.
India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri participated in Plant for Mother campaign in Mauritius by planting a Norfolk Island pine sapling in Mauritius on Saturday. Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri is on a 3-day visit to Mauritius, marking the first high-level bilateral engagement between the two countries after the formation of the new government in Mauritius. Plant for Mother is a tree plantation campaign initiated by India's PM Narendra Modi in 2024 to promote greener and healthier future. The 72nd plenary of the North Eastern Council was chaired by India's Home Minister Amit Shah in Tripura's capital Agartala. Minister of Development of North Eastern Region Jyotiraditya Scindia, along with governors, chief ministers and senior administrative officials of all the northeastern states, are attending the day-long NEC meeting. The NEC was established in 1971 and its remarkable achievements over the decades are from constructing over 11,500 kilometers of roads to boosting power generation and improving airport infrastructure. India's Home Minister Amit Shah, while addressing the event, said that Act East, Act Fast and Act First mantra are being implemented by North East Council in letter and spirit.
अब समय आ गया है कि $5 ट्रिलियन की अर्थव्यवस्था को पूर्वोत्तर के विकास से एक बिग पुश देने का समय आ गया है और इसके लिए एक्ट ईस्ट, एक्ट फास्ट और एक्ट फर्स्ट, ये तीनों मंत्र जो हमें दिए गए हैं, ये तीनों मंत्र को चरितार्थ करने का काम डोनर मंत्रालय बखूबी कर रहा है, एनईसी भी कर रही है। एनईसी ने अपने 50 वर्षों में आकांक्षाओं, जरूरियातों और चुनौतियों के संभावित समाधानों पर चर्चा करने का एक महत्वपूर्ण मंच बनकर पूर्वोत्तर के विकास की भाग्य रेखा बनने का काम किया है।
Indian Space Research Organisation ISRO and the European Space Agency have signed an agreement to cooperate on activities related to astronaut training, mission implementation and research experiments. The signing comes ahead of the upcoming Axiom 4 mission. The pact provides a framework for cooperative activities in human space exploration and research. The agreement includes use of ESA facilities on International Space Station, human and biomedical research experiment implementation, as well as joint education and outreach activities. This partnership advances India's human spaceflight capabilities and global collaboration. A 5.2 magnitude earthquake hit Nepal's Bajuda district of Sudur Paschim province on Saturday early morning. The district administration said that the earthquake did not result in any casualties, but houses developed cracks. The epicenter of the earthquake was at Gotri Jagannath Rural Municipality. A house at Bhutinanda Municipality 4 collapsed and 3 children have been rescued unharmed. Till now, no loss of life has been reported and an assessment of the physical damage is still underway as the epicenter lies in a remote area with poor connectivity. More Australians caught up Vanuatu's earthquake tragedy have returned home on emergency flights facilitated by the Royal Australian Air Force. Dozens arrived through Brisbane's international terminal on Thursday evening after Air Force planes flew out of Port Vila, some smiling and speaking media as they passed through. About 148 Australians also arrived home overnight on Wednesday on RAAF flights. Australian rescuers continue to work in Vanuatu's capital city, Port Vila, after a 7.3 magnitude earthquake struck off the Pacific nation and killed at least 12 people on Thursday. In South Korea, tens of thousands protested in Seoul on Saturday, a week after President Yoon was impeached over his short-lived declaration of martial law. Supporters and people opposing Yoon's move held demonstration in Gwanghwamun, in the heart of the capital, several hundred meters apart from one another. Yoon's presidential powers are suspended, but he remains in office. Yoon is yet to respond to attempts to contact him by the Constitutional Court, which decides whether to remove him from office or restore his presidential powers.
I came here with so much anger. I truly believe martial law is justified and acceptable. No matter how much I think about it, it's all because of the fake news. the spread of false information and the manipulation of public opinion that is pushing this country towards left-wing ideologies, and we can't sleep because of it. I'm so upset. It brings me to tears and I'm really heartbroken. That's why I came out today to strongly condemn this.
정말 성토하려고 나왔어요.
Moving on to Germany, where as per a country's newspaper, the death toll in a suspected attack in a Christmas market in Magdeburg has risen to at least 4, with over dozens more injured. According to the authorities, the attack occurred when a car deliberately rammed into a crowd of people at the market, resulting in multiple fatalities and injuries. Emergency response teams, including around 100 firefighters and 50 rescue personnel, were quickly deployed to the scene to assist the wounded and transport them to nearby hospitals. Officials described the incident as an intentional attack and announced that the driver had been taken into custody at the scene. The Interior Minister for Saxony-Anhalt, Tamara Sishang, identified the suspect as a 50-year-old doctor from Saudi Arabia who arrived in Germany in 2006. Following the attack, Saudi Arabia condemned the ramming attack at a Christmas market and expressed solidarity with Germany after one of its nationals was arrested. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz visited the attack site on Saturday and laid flowers at the Magdeburg market. Earlier, he sent his thoughts to those affected in a post on social media platform X. World leaders expressed condolences for the victims of an attack in Germany. Taking to the social media post on X, the president of the European Council said he was appalled by the horrific news from Magdeburg, adding that the EU stands in solidarity with Germany. French President Emmanuel Macron expressed his profound shock and sadness over the attack. In a post on X, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni expressed solidarity with Germany, describing the event as a concern of security.
It's not the first time this has happened. It's not the first time this has happened around Christmas. I clearly cannot avoid starting by expressing my utmost solidarity with the German people, the entire German people. This is an issue we have been dealing with for years. We must be careful about how we manage our policies, including how we ensure the safety of our citizens. Therefore, this is also a matter that concerns security.
Riguarda la questione.
Still to come on this edition of DD in the Live. Ukraine drones hit multiple buildings in Russia's Kazan, prompts airport closure. US drops $10 million reward on Syria's new leader Ahmad al-Shara in Damascus talks. India's Vishnu Saravanan clinches bronze at Asian Open Championship in Haikou city of China.
In light of recent developments, can we expect something different with regard to China-India relations, and is there hope for some kind of stability between these two giants of Asia?
I think we should be prepared that China will always seek in this period ahead to contain India. It seeks to contain India in South Asia, for instance. It seeks to contain India when we speak of expansion of the permanent membership of the Security Council. It has never been a supporter. It has sought to contain India on various fronts, so it obviously sees India as a rival.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Russia's Kazan airport has temporarily suspended flight arrivals and departures following a Ukrainian drone attack on the city. Russia's aviation watchdog Rosaviatsia said that the attack prompted the halt in operations. It was a chilling sight as a major attack was experienced by Russian city of Kazan with 8 drone strikes targeting high-rise buildings. The strikes reportedly occurred in rapid succession, which flew into the multi-story buildings. Russian state news agencies reported that there were 8 drone strikes in the city, with 6 targeting residential structures. Meanwhile, airport operations have also been temporarily restricted at the airport in Kazan's Ishvik. A loud explosion was heard on early Saturday morning as sirens blared over central Israel after it was struck by a ballistic missile fired by Yemen. missile that fell in the Tel Aviv-Jaffa area injured at least 16 people who were then taken to the hospital. In another long-range attack attempt against Israel, the Houthis have claimed responsibility of targeting Israel with a hypersonic ballistic missile. Spokesperson for the Houthis said they had hit a military target in the Jaffa area using a Palestine II hypersonic ballistic missile. The Houthis have repeatedly fired drones and missiles towards Israel since the October 2023 conflict. The United States has removed the long-standing $10 million bounty on the de facto leader of Syria, Ahmed al-Shara, following a high-level U.S. delegation meeting with the leader in Damascus. Assistant Secretary of State for Near Eastern Affairs, Barbara Leaf, one of the 3 U.S. officials who sat down with Ahmed al-Shara in Damascus, described the policy decision as one aligned with the need to work on critical issues such as combating terrorism. Sources mentioned that Washington is scrapping a long-standing reward for the arrest of Syria's new leader, following positive messages from a first meeting that included a promise to fight terrorism. A State Department spokesperson confirmed that the diplomats discussed transition principles supported by the U.S., regional events, and the need to fight against ISIS. The U.S. Congress has passed a funding bill that averts a government shutdown. The bill, which was passed with a bipartisan effort, will fund the government at current levels through March 14. More in this report.
The US Senate in the early hours of Saturday passed a stopgap funding package defying President-elect Donald Trump's demand to greenlight trillions of dollars in new debt. The bill was passed after 2 failed attempts, averting a government shutdown that would have furloughed thousands of federal workers and bring a tumultuous week in the Congress to a close.
I have very good news for my colleagues and for the country. Democrats and Republicans have just reached an agreement that will allow us to pass the CR tonight before the midnight deadline. After a chaotic few days in the House, it's good news that the bipartisan approach in the end prevailed. It's a good lesson for next year. Both sides have to work together.
The US senators voted 85-11 to approve a continuing resolution that extends funding at current levels until March 14, provides more than $100 billion in disaster assistance to areas ravaged by hurricanes and other storms, includes economic assistance for farmers. Some Republicans voted against the package because it did not cut spending. US House Speaker Mike Johnson said the party will have more influence next year when they will have majorities in both chambers of the Congress and Trump will be in the White House. Earlier, the bill was passed in the House of Representatives with 341 to 82 votes.
We are really grateful that tonight, in bipartisan fashion, with overwhelming majority of votes, we passed the American Relief Act of 2025. This is a very important piece of legislation. It funds the government, of course, until March of 2025. That was a big priority for us.
Spending plan, known as a continuing resolution, has a bipartisan support. It would fund government through March 14. Deal contains nearly $100 billion in disaster aid and $10 billion more in banking relief for farmers. It would also extend Farm Bill by 1 year, will continue to allow more seniors to use telehealth and reform how pharmacy benefits managers, known as PBMs, operate. More disaster aid funding. Deal would provide nearly $100 billion to help Americans recover from natural disasters. Funding is in line with roughly $100 billion top-line request from Biden administration in November. Bill includes $10 billion in economic aid for farmers. Spending agreement includes 1-year extension of the Farm Bill. The bill will now head to President Joe Biden's desk for his signatures. Antara Sinha's report for DD India.
Marking the end of France's decades-long military presence in one of its last former colonies, a contingent of 120 French soldiers left Chad on Friday. The withdrawal process began earlier this month with the departure of 2 French Mirage warplanes on December 10. At present, about 1,000 French troops remain in the Central African country, with the full drawdown expected to take several weeks. Let's take a look at other stories making news around the world. 8 people were sentenced for prison terms ranging up to 16 years by a French court for inciting hate against a school teacher, resulting in his murder. The teacher was stabbed and beheaded by a student after he showed caricature of Prophet Muhammad in the school. Kazakhstan's president replaced his deputy prime minister, who also served as economy minister, by presidential decree on Saturday. Nolan has been replaced by Serik Zuman Garin. The decree gave no reason for the changes. Starbucks Workers Union, representing 525 stores all over the U.S., began a 5-day strike at stores in Los Angeles, Chicago and Seattle. The strike began after failed negotiations on unresolved issues, including wages, staffing and schedules. In response, the company said it has reached more than 30 agreements and are still open for further negotiations. India's Vishnu Saravanan won a bronze medal in the men's dinghy event at the Asian Open Championships, which concluded in Haikou city of China. Saravanan tallied 36 points from his 10 races to finish third. Malaysian veteran Khairul Nizam Effendi won the gold, while Hong Kong, China's Nicholas Halliday took the silver. The sailing event was held from 11th to 20th of December, and this year's championships was the biggest with 250 competitors. Atletico Madrid to face Barcelona on Saturday in a bid to reach the top of La Liga. Atletico Madrid coach Diego Simeone said that his side will draw from the strengths to be competitive against Barcelona. Atletico are one of the most informed teams in Europe on an 11-game winning streak in all competitions, and they are looking like a well-oiled machine with Antoine Griezmann, Julian Alvarez and Rodrigo de Paul firing on all cylinders. Atletico are now level with Barcelona on 38 points, while third-placed Real Madrid are only 1 point behind. In women's cricket, India is set to clash with Bangladesh in the final of the inaugural Under-19 Women's Asia Cup on Sunday. The women in blue, led by Nikki Prasad, defeated Sri Lanka by 4 wickets in the Super 4 match. India chased down the target in just 14.5 overs. Batting first, Sri Lanka scored 98 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in their 20 overs. India's Ayushi took 4 wickets, while Parunika bagged 2. Meanwhile, Bangladesh women beat Nepal by 9 wickets in the other Super 4 match. Special Olympics Bharat President Malika Nadda, along with youth leaders, emphasized the importance of spreading the message of inclusivity at the National Youth Leadership Summit 2024. Held from December 18 to 20th in New Delhi, the summit brought together young leaders from across the country.
We have some youth leader with us, so you have been here. So what's the key features of this event you found?
So basically, every state of India is kind of comprises the youth summit. We have invited all the states, and this not only represent the Delhi NCR but also represent the ISRO Bharat, Special Olympics Bharat. So this represents the India, whole India. It's like I have seen the mini India here.
We have arranged over the span of 3 days a lot of sessions, workshops, trainings, skill development sessions for all of them, which is very unique, something that you will not witness anywhere else apart from ISRO Bharat. And another important key feature would be that everyone is participating, right? So it's not like only the program staff is speaking up or the athlete is not doing anything. Everybody has an equal role in organizing, participating, hosting this whole program.
We can say that it's a big thing for the Special Olympic Bharat and for the athletes with intellectual disability too, because they will spread this information there also.
I think the National Youth Leadership Summit, the aim of this summit is basically spreading awareness and spreading the message of inclusion. So all the youth leaders who are here with their partners, they will definitely go back and spread this message of not only inclusion, but they will try to make more such leaders in their state, and then all the youth together can definitely reach one, which I always say, each one reach one. So if one youth reaches another specially abled athlete, I think we can reach many, many more athletes and join them in our movement, associate them with Special Olympics, and also make a better tomorrow for them. through inclusion.
Kalash has, we can say that at the forefront of this National Youth Leadership Summit. So what was the learning process for you especially, and for the way the things it will help, it will bring a change in the society?
It's a very good opportunity for all the youth, young leaders who have been working on ground, and I think this is a platform wherein they get a chance to talk about what they have done. It's not the program staff who's talking on their behalf, it's the athlete who's talking, it's the youth who's talking. So I think that's the best that can be done.
India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati has recently launched Waves, entering the field of OTT platform. Waves provides a complete infotainment ecosystem to digital media and OTT audiences. If you also want great content for free, then download Waves today. Thank you so much. Keep watching DD India.